Hey Tekking101, I'm everybody, and I'm ecstatic right now. You want to know why? It's because I finally realized that we have all the major players we're going to need for the final battle in this series. You know, we were always worried about, you know, when Grimmjow and Nell were going to show back up, when Aizen's going to show back up. Well, you know, it finally just hit me like the past week that, wait a second, all the major players are here. There's nobody else that could possibly show up. So, yeah, we're ready for this. You know, everyone's good and geared up for the final battle, leaving absolutely nobody out. So, Ginjo, are you ready for the intensive training rounds today? Tsukishima, we haven't been taught a single thing in the entire 3 months we've been here other than how to clean out the shit out of the pig pen. Well, yes, indeed, I thought of that as well, but perhaps this is just Miss Kukaku's way of teaching us a super secret Shiba technique that we may be useful in the battle in the upcoming days. Hey, once you guys are done out front jawing, maybe you can get back here and help milk the cows. Okay, well, look at it this way. At least we're still doing stuff. As opposed to... who? Hey, Ryukin, you want to go do something? No. Okay, then, just thought I'd ask. Hey everybody, Tekking101 here, here to review Bleach chapter number 627, titled The Creation. I guess Kubo's just going for a whole Christian, biblical kind of chapter title motif now that Yuha has attained that level of the Soul King, so I guess expect more of that in the upcoming chapters. Or hey, maybe better yet, we'll get The Creation 2 next week. I'm crossing my fingers for that one. So the chapter opens up with Yukio's black magic box still traveling on that railway toward the Chrysalis Palace. You know, I was assuming, like, that whole trip would only take them a couple minutes. I mean, they were in, like, one of those cities underneath the Chrysalis Palace. You'd think it would only take, like, I don't know, 10 minutes tops to get back up there, but apparently it's been enough time for, you know, them to get in there, explain the whole situation with the Valley of Screams. They were able to introduce each other, have a little conversation. Haruka was able to butt in, and now they're just not, they're not even there yet. They're still, you know, traveling up to the Chrysalis Palace, and yeah, whatever. But anyway, I guess they're getting close enough because Yoruichi asked the gang, all right, everyone, are you guys ready? Oh yeah, we're ready to go, Yoruichi. See, our original plan was to set up like a grid pattern of the Chrysalis Palace that we could strategically place ourselves and maybe work out like a combo technique between us, you know, so we can take out Yuha and the Elite Stern Raiders. But because Haruka's here and she thought that that was kind of a depressing conversation, instead we've been playing Candyland for the last 30 goddamn minutes. So yeah, all our strategies are pretty much ready to go. You're only cranky, Ichigo, because you got lost in the peppermint forest. Yeah, Orihime, where you could go shove a lollipop. Okay, yeah, I kind of am. So, in the middle of this, Yukio brings up basically the fact that, hey, once I drop you guys off, I'm staying in here, I'm not helping you in any additional way. You know, I'm your ride there, and I'm hopefully going to be your ride out of there, but I'm not doing anything beyond that. So, first off, Little Tiny called that shit dance for me, because I called that word verbatim in the last chapter. I'm feeling like an Irish jig sort of vibe in this one, so... Yeah, but also it makes perfect sense. I mean, Yukio's not like, you know, his abilities are useful in combat, but he couldn't even take out freaking Toshiro with them. And aside from the fact, you know, Yukio even brings up, like, I got roped into this by Ohara, the same thing with Haruka, you know, hey, at least Haruka, she probably came along with this because she has like a crush on Ichigo. There's really no reason Yukio to be here other than just out of sheer obligation. And you know, he brings this up to Ganju, because Ganju kind of has like a little conversation with him, just like, hey, look, you know, you were fighting tooth and nail here, you know, you staying in this little room, that's kind of selfish, don't you think? Yes, I admit that's the case, but I really don't give a shit. You know what? I totally agree with Yukio here. This is totally how I would act in this situation. If I had Yukio's powers, Invaders Must Die, there's no way that I would try to go out there and fight against Yuha. I would be the guy to like, you know what? I'm supposed to be here. I'm like kind of just neutral, so I'm just going to hang out in here and be your ride out of there. And you know, it's not really being selfish. It's just Yukio looks at the situation. He knows how strong Ichigo is. He knows Yoruichi's there, Grimmjow, Nelliel. He's like, you guys fucking got this. There's nothing I can add to this freaking battle. There's nothing that I personally can go out there and make this, like, the tide of the battle changed because of Yukio Han's Werberberber or whatever. You know, he knows this. He realizes this, and I think he's just acting all cool to be like, oh, I'm just going to be in here, you know, playing my PS ESP, but honestly, he knows that they got this. And if they don't got this, there's nothing he can do about the situation. They're all fucked if they lose, and they're all awesome if they win. So that's how it goes. Yeah, guys, so you can go have fun with that. I'm just going to be in here playing Persona 4.
This place exists between dream and reality, mind and matter.
Yeah, that game kind of looks interesting. You think I can play it? Oh, yeah, sure. Tell you what, you survive this battle, and I'll give you the game. Awesome! That seems like something easy to do. So they have Ichigo coming up and kind of calming Ganju down. He's like, hey, look, it's all right. There's no point in... You know, honestly, I want to think what's going through Ichigo's head right now is just like, you know, you're beriding, you know, Yukio for not doing anything. Ganju, do you really think you're going to contribute to this battle at all? Really? I mean, that's what Ichigo's thinking. Come on here. There's no way Ganju's going to do anything that's like, yeah, Ganju's going to take down Herald Valkyrie. Ganju's going to be the one to be in pitched combat with Hashwolf. Yeah, I'm sure that's how that's going to go down. But no, Ichigo just kind of puts his hand on his chest. He's like, no, dude, just chill out, all right? It's no big deal. He then focuses on Haruka and says basically the same thing to him. He's like, you and Yukio just hang out in the little box and, you know, we'll just, you know, you'll be safe in here, no problem. And Yukio, of course, agrees to this, but Haruka kind of like wants to stand up and she's just like, no, I can do this. I can fight you. I mean, I can fight in the Soul Palace alongside you. I've, you know, been to the Valley of Screams and everything. And this is something that just hammers the whole memories of nobody thing in. So Ichigo, he basically brings up like, oh, well, you had to use your powers forcefully because the Valley of Screams is certainly not something that you would find cute. So in order to help us, you kind of like shelved your own personality and you forced the Valley of Screams into a box because, you know, you care so much about us. And maybe Ichigo's even aware of the crush that Haruka has on him. But the thing that I want to bring up is that Ichigo talks about the Valley of Screams as if he knows what it looks like and he's been there before, which has actually happened. He does know what it's looked like, and he has been there before in the context of Memories of Nobody, which, can somebody please figure out a way to fit this into canon? Like, I would say it fits in right after the Soul Society arc, but Rukia's in it, and she doesn't appear right after the Soul Society arc up until the other captains arrive in Karakura Town after Ukiura and Yami arrive. Please, somebody fix this for me! I'm having nightmares here! Yeah, of course, Haruka just kind of blushes at Ichigo and says, oh yeah, no problem, I'll stay here because I want to suck your D, basically. Okay, so then Ganju comes up to Ichigo and says, oh, well, you've grown a little bit, huh? And we just have like a little back and forth between them because it's Ichigo's just like, I've grown, huh? Where? I don't know where. And Ganju's just like, no, okay, no, you're still a dumbass, like always, pretty much. And then we get the chapter title, Bleach 627, The Creation. And then we cut back down to the Vandenreich, which is slowly reforming back into, dun-dun-dun, the Seirei rises again! It's no more the Vandenreich, which is good because I've kind of gotten tired of saying the word. Anyway, it started as just like a side joke, but I started to, like, every time I would say Seirei instead of Vandenreich, someone would send me a message like, hey, you forgot to say Vandenreich, and I'm like, oh, great, I'm locked into this. But now, no more, because the Quincy City now literally crumbles to pieces and reveals where the Seirei, you know, the original buildings of the Seirei, and all the buildings and structures that the Vandenreich place there begins floating back into the sky, heading toward the Soul Palace. We'll get a little bit of that at the end of the chapter. But now, we have Soifone, who's like still constructing the gate, everybody's still constructing the gate, and they're looking up and they're just like, oh geez, what did happen now? And we actually see that the gate is almost completely forged. It's like 99% of the way there, and I thought it would be hilarious if like just, okay guys, we're right about to do it, we're right about there, and then all of a sudden like that big clock tower from the Vandenreich just crashes down and just breaks the barrier, it just breaks the door, and everyone's just like, ah, come on! That's like the 10th time that's happened! But no. So, yeah, Shinji does look up to the sky, though, because I don't exactly know why he's complaining, because from the context of this chapter, the Seirei has been reforged. So I don't know why Shinji's all, like, scowling and freaking out. He's just like, how many more times does the enemy plan on making us bend over? I don't know, Shinji. Let's ask Yuha. Over 9,000! Okay, I knew that was walked right into that one. Oh, by the way, that little joke you saw just now with the different eyes on Yuha, I made that on my own, but I don't want to say, like, I got that idea from, like, just myself. That was actually something I saw on Facebook. I can't remember the person who originally posted that, but I felt like I should mention it just in case someone doesn't post on the video, like, hey, that was my idea. Sorry I took your idea, but I thought it was really clever, so thank you for giving me the springboard. Yeah, so I don't know if this means like the Seirei buildings, the original ones, are crumbling apart or whatever, but from the way this chapter looks, it doesn't seem to be that way. We get a scenes of everybody, you know, Basby, Latato, Uruhara, Aizen, Shunsui, as the buildings begin to look constructed back up, and we see that the gate is now fully constructed. Yes! They did it! It only took... Okay, chapter 6, 12, 15 chapters. It took 15 chapters for them to get this thing done, and a couple of, you know, problems along the way with, you know, lack of Ryatsu, and then we had the whole Aizen warning and everything. But hey, they're on their way to the Soul Palace, ladies and gentlemen. Ha! Did you hear that, Chair? We're finally going to the Soul Palace. Aw, man, I wanted to go there since I was a little tyke. How about you? Yay, Aizen, I wanted to go there too. All the times you've talked about it. Seems like a lot of fun. Is he talking to that fucking chair? I wouldn't bother him, Rukia. He's been locked away with nothing but that chair for the past 2 years, so, yeah, he seems to have a little bit of, damaged goods going on upstairs, I would imagine. Anyway, though, the chapter closes off with everybody in Urahara's group ready to step through the gate as we cut back up to the, magical black box that Yukio created, and it seems that everyone's arrived at the Soul Palace. Top floor, Disneyland, and the Soul Palace. Alright, everyone, are we ready to go? Hell yeah! Alright, let's do this! Oh, wait a second. Grimjow's not here yet. Wait, seriously? Okay, where the fuck is he? Really? What? I had a big lunch before we came here. Let's just open the damn door and let's go kick this guy's ass. Freaking jerking off in here. Let's go do this. So the last scene of the chapter, we see the Garganta open at the Chrysalis Palace, and we see that Yuha's, maybe done a little bit of remodeling since the last time we've been there. And on this episode of MTV Cribs, Yuha Bach takes over this boring trap Soul Palace and reforms it into the awesomeness of the Vandenreich. Ah, jeez, is this even the Soul Palace? Looks like we ended up in freaking London. Whatever, let's blow it up anyway. Oh, Grimjow, what the hell do you have against the Brits? They call cookies biscuits, Ichigo. That's all the reasoning I need for my hatred of them. And that's pretty much where we end the chapter. Yoroichi freaks out a little bit because she doesn't even know they're there right now. She looks on the ground and sees the stake that she planted previously so that she knows they're in the Chrysalis Palace. And then we see the former Chrysalis Palace, I guess, of the Soul King that's now been completely demolished. And it's now, you know, it looks like it's covered in ice, apparently, because the Vandenreich has, like, this icy theme to it. And she's just kind of really pissed off. She looks like she's going to, like maul somebody. She's just like, looks like Yuha's done a little bit of remodeling up here. So I don't know if she's, like, so pissed off, like, oh, god damn it, Yuha, this is the Soul Palace, this is the freaking holy ground of the Shinigami, and you've perverted it with your late Victorian era Gothic kind of architecture, god damn you! And I don't know why she's that pissed off. I mean, when you defeat Yuha, all this is gonna go away, right? I mean, I would assume so. She wasn't this pissed off about the Soul Society being turned into this, the Seirete anyways. I don't know why she's, like, you know, gritting her teeth in anger right now. But anyway, that's the end of the chapter. The only thing I have to ask, because, you know, we didn't really get much, all we got was just, basically it could be summed up in that the Soul Palace got remodeled, not really a big deal there, and then that Urahara's group and Ichigo's group have arrived there. So probably at the beginning of the next chapter, we're going to have, like, Urahara's group popping out, and they're going to be surprised by it, and they're going to be freaking out, and then, you know, Ichigo's going to show up behind him, and they're like, oh, no, totally, this is the Soul Palace. Like, oh, okay, cool. And then they can maybe group up and figure out what they're going to do, and maybe then the Stern Ridders, the elite Stern Ridders will show up at the end of the chapter being like, you know, this is our hood now, you can't take us down. I don't know. But, you know, my personal question for this chapter is, I'm just going to bring this up. If you could have any character, because there's probably going to be at least one character in this group to die right now. Let's not include the ones that are obvious, like Ganju or Yushiro, or I guess Yukio and Haruka are safe because they're in their little dimension. If you had to pick, like, a main character here to die, like, we're talking Shunsui, Urahara, Neliao, Grimjow, even if Yumachika or Ikaku died, I would feel a little bit like, or Shuhei, I would feel a little bit like, oh, that's kind of impactful, just because we've known Yumachika and Ikaku and Shuhei for so long. So if one of them were to die, which is also very likely, I would be a little bit shaken up. But yeah, if you had to pick anyone to die out of this group, because it's probably going to happen, who would you pick? Is my question, I guess. But other than that, really not much to discuss in this chapter. It's just basically just, you know, two groups, you know, heading to the Soul Palace, and then the Soul Palace is all remodeled. Maybe Kubo just likes drawing that kind of architecture. Maybe he was bored of having fights in the Soul Society. He just wanted to be like, I want to have a fight in this back alley street of, like, London during, like, the time of, like, Jack the Ripper or some shit. I don't know what's going through his head, but this is probably going to be the final battleground. I mean, the final battle of the series could probably take place right here, so it's pretty imposing, you know, the whole ice frozen city, everything. But yeah, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the chapter. Tekking101 signing out. Sorry I threw you on the ground, Cone. Pro tip, if you're ever deciding to take a trip to Pennsylvania, don't. Because, yeah, it was like, boiling hot all week, and now we get hit by a sudden cold snap in the middle of fucking May, so, just keep that in mind when you're making your travel plans.